And now we bring you an interview in this hour. Now, the Proteas are currently in a 3-match T20 series against Pakistan in Pakistan. And this is, of course, a part of the preparations for the upcoming T20 World Cup. Now, this morning, we are joined by Proteas women all-rounder Nadine de Klerk to get a sense of how things are in the Proteas camp. And good morning to you, Nadine, and welcome to Sport on Morning Live.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Nadine, I want to start our conversation with just looking at the fact that the team has been together for a while now in preparing for the T20 World Cup, and you're currently out in Pakistan. Perhaps let's speak to the conditions out in Pakistan and how similar those are to what you're likely going to experience in the UAE, if at all.
Yeah, look, I think, going to the UAE is a bit of unknown territory, I would think, for most of the girls, obviously not having played there before, but I think it's great preparation. I do expect similar conditions that what we are experiencing at the moment, quite hot as well. So, yeah, it's great to start off with a win as well the other day, and hopefully we can continue with that momentum and take it into the World Cup as well.
And that victory against Pakistan was a lovely one. We enjoyed watching it back here at home. How would you say that has uplifted the spirits as well as the momentum within the team?
Yeah, no, it's great. Look, I think, when you play games before the World Cup, it's very important, although we are obviously looking at a few combinations, and we obviously had a debutante as well the previous game, which is great to see some new and young faces within the space and within the side as well. But I think it's very important to take that winning momentum going into the World Cup. It gives the team a lot of confidence, and I definitely think that first game has, and like I said, hopefully we can continue with that for the next couple of games as well.
And I like how you speak about that momentum and just giving you more confidence, because we've seen that this team has struggled to maintain the form that we saw the team have going all the way into the final out in Cape Town. How would you say that transition has been with all the experienced players somewhat making room for the new talent? You speak about one of the debutants getting an opportunity against Pakistan in that first T20.
Yeah, look, I think it is a bit difficult, especially because it's such a big jump from domestic cricket to international cricket, especially in South Africa. We're not like Australia and England and those countries that have these very professional and high level of competition leagues. So it does make it a bit difficult, and it's always hard when you lose big players that's been the stars for South Africa for such a long period of time. But I think we've done well through that transition phase. Obviously, a massive expectation after last year's World Cup. But like I said, we saw what Seshni did the other day on her debut, and it just shows that there's so much talent within our group. And like I mentioned earlier as well, I think it comes down more to the mental side of things and how we prepare mentally. I think we do have the skills to really give it a good run for especially Australia. We know they're a very good side, so to give every team we're going to play a good run for their money.
And I mean, Nadine, we look at you, right, and you are an all-rounder, so we are assuming that you'll be called on upon quite regularly as the all-rounder in the team in terms of just that bowling attack. Let's speak to the variety in your bowling. Are you comfortable with where it is right now ahead of this World Cup, and just knowing that some of those conditions may not be the best for a bowler?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a challenge, but like I mentioned as well, I think, obviously we had the express pace of Shabnam Ismail that we don't have at the moment, but we do have, Annery Derrickson, for example, that has some good gas as well, which is exciting to see, and it's great for the women's game. And then I think there's quite a bit of experience within our bowling attack. There's also a few new ones in Ayanda that we saw in Australia that done really well over in Australia. Tumi has been bowling really well. So I think as a bowling group, we're in very good form. Obviously, Marizanne Cup is probably one of the best all-rounders in the world. So to have her in our attack as well and she's obviously going to be the leader of the bowling attack. So I'm really confident. I'm really positive about how it's looking at the moment. I think we bowled well the previous game as well, and really excited to see what the bowlers are gonna bring to the party when we get over to the UAE.
And I want to touch on getting to the UAE and looking at the increased prize money for the winner at this edition of the tournament. That must be encouraging to see just the positive outlook on women's cricket professionally in South Africa as well as on the international and global scale.
Yeah, I think it's great. The last couple of years has been great for women's cricket all around the world, not just in South Africa. But it makes it so exciting to be part of the women's game, and it just shows that not just in South Africa, but right across the globe, that people actually recognise, women's cricket and the way it's going at the moment. And again, I hope it continues because there's such a big future and bright future for a lot of the young girls that's up and coming and girls in schools and clubs. It just shows that there's a real future in cricket, and hopefully that makes them as excited as it makes us, going forward.
I know it certainly makes me excited going forward. But Nadine, as I start to wrap up with you, perhaps just speak to the support coming in from South Africa and to the viewers sitting at home watching right now, just in terms of getting behind you and the girls and supporting you in this upcoming T20 World Cup.
Yeah, look, we can't do it without the people back home. All the friends and families, fans back home, people that's been supporting us, from day one, and it really means a lot. We obviously want to make the country proud, and we know there's millions of people back home that's watching us and supporting us all the way. So we really do appreciate it. And again, we couldn't do it without you guys, and hopefully we can make South Africa proud and bring the trophy home.
Nadine, we are certainly crossing fingers for you, and good luck for the rest of the T20s out in Pakistan, and we look forward to seeing what you're going to do out at the World Cup in the UAE. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Nadine. Of course, she is an all-rounder out for the Proteas women's team, and they will be participating in the upcoming T20 World Cup. And that's the note in which we'll wrap up your sport news for today right here on Morning Live.